Imagine you are in heaven, your heaven. Everything is exactly the way you want it. The love, the money, the success, everything you ever asked for, you finally got it. You are where you always wanted to be. But suddenly there is this voice in your head saying, "This is nice, but what if I lose it all?" Another voice says, "What if I made the wrong choice?" And the next one says, "Everybody else is probably doing better." What are those voices? Why they don't let you enjoy your time in your heaven, in your manifested reality, in your dream life? Do they have an off button? Can you turn them off? Have you ever even tried to turn them off? Those voices, they are your mental, emotional patterns talking to you. Most of them were created when you were little. When you were little, every time you experienced something painful, when you were ignored, criticized, left out, scared, or told to be different, your nervous system made a decision. It said, from now on, this is how we survive. This is how we stay safe. This is how we make sure this pain never happens again. Based on that decision, maybe it made you hyper alert, always looking ahead, anticipating the next threat. Maybe it taught you to please everyone to earn love instead of just receiving it. Maybe it completely numbed you out so you wouldn't feel anything at all. All of that created patterns that are deeply ingrained in your nervous system. And every time something even slightly similar happened, the pattern repeated and it got stronger. You acted and reacted based on those patterns without your conscious choice over and over, and gradually those patterns became you. Or I'd better say, you and the people around you thought it did. Now you can't tell the difference between your truth and your mind's voice, the voice that was shaped by your emotional pain. Now you don't even realize you are living on autopilot, not because you are not smart, but because those patterns have been running the show for so long that they feel like home, they feel like you. That's why many people get stuck. Not because they are not trying, they are trying hard, but from the same old patterns that created the suffering. When you are stuck in those patterns, you don't choose, you react to the problems. You are using the same beliefs, same emotions, same habits to solve the problem. It's like trying to calm a scared child by yelling, "Stop being scared." But how do you break free? How do you end the suffering? You wake up, not with your mind, by analyzing, planning, anticipating, and fixing, but with your awareness. You need to shift from thinking to awareness, from reacting to observing. Then you recognize the voice. You feel the emotion. You pause the reaction and you interrupt the pattern. Every time you notice a pattern is getting activated, instead of letting it take over you, you pause, you breathe, and then you say to yourself, here it comes again. The same old voice, the same fear trying to protect you, the same tightness in your chest. But this time, You don't follow it. You don't believe it. You don't become it. You just see it. You stay with it. You let it move through you without turning into a story. This is how true healing begins. Not by trying hard to fix yourself or change yourself, but by being present enough and conscious enough to stop feeding those patterns over and over again, to stop listening to those patterns. And the more you do that, the more you create space between you and those patterns. And in that space, you remember who you really are. Not a voice in your head, not a wound trying to protect itself. You are the awareness itself, still, free, and untouchable. That's the you that can peacefully sit in that heaven and joyfully say, I am here and now.